Shalom and welcome everyone. I pray that you've had an awesome week. I'm Justin James Garcia. This is
Zen Garcia.
Joye Garcia and
Eliana Garcia.
Garcia.
So, yes, we just want to bring this weekly summary to you to summarize all the work that we've done in the last week, so you don't have to watch, 8 hours plus of video content. And yeah, it's been an awesome week. We've got nothing but great reports. Eliana is doing so much better, so well, and we are editing the video of our birth story right now. I know that we said last week that we would get it out to you. We are proactively working on that to get it out to you. It's an awesome story, and I just think that you'll be moved to hear just how the Most High worked in Joy to bring this little princess into the world. We're just so excited to have her. As you can see, my dad is hypnotized by her eyes. She's so
she
beautiful.
Like the bright lighting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. So it's been an awesome week. We'll get started with Wednesday night. My dad joined with Brett Thompson joined with my dad on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, to continue their series on Mystery Babylon. Always it seems like every show is getting better and better, and y'all cover so much really great information. I love the back and forth banter between you and Brother Brett. Anything that stuck out to you that you'd like to share?
Well, of course, one of the most controversial topics is the enmity between the bloodlines, and him and I both coming to discernment on this information. It was nice that we were actually able to share some sources, some ancient sources that we had covered and had come up in our investigation, to also share, with the public and give all of you an idea for what's out there and why we believe the way that we do. And so, yeah, that show turned out really well. Always a blessing to do, the discourse with him on these kind of revelations, because not a lot of people cover it in truth, especially in the seminaries and mainstream churchianity. And
right.
So,
and then tying it to the prophetic mystery Babylon in the end. I love that aspect of the series, how you're really studying in history to see the patterns that's come through civilization that's led to who the mystery Babylon is, that's mentioned in Revelation, as the whore that rides on many waters, that rides on the 7 heads, 10-horned beast, identifying who those individuals are, and not just the individual nations, but the systems themselves that this beast is and that mystery Babylon is, because it's all relevant for us to be able to understand how all that prophetic picture actually unravels. As you and Brett go every 2 weeks now, every month now.
Every other month now.
Oh, every other month now. So yeah, we appreciate you, Brother Brett, for joining. I feel like I learned so much just live streaming the show and being with the chat. It's always a really great time in the chat too. The audience, the people that are joining. I love to see the back and forth in there as well, because everyone is bringing so much information. Of course, I feel like my dad has definitely studied more than I could ever possibly hope to, but
you'll get your time.
Brett also, he comes from his own studies, and it's just awesome to see two people who, I can't say that you're perfect scholars or anything, because of course the Most High receives all the glory. We're just students of his, but I feel like when he teaches two different people all these secrets, and then you come together and you confirm one another, it's just always a really fun time, exciting time, and the revelations that come about from that is always exciting, of course, for the audience as well. So yeah, moving on to another show with another brother that we appreciate very much, that has been really life-changing for many people, is your show on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Truth Frequency Radio with Brother Rob Skiba, the Genesis Revisited series. That's one of my favorite shows as well. I'm so blessed to be able to be in on the live call And of course, I'm just broadcasting to the YouTube stream, so I can't say anything, but there's so many times I just want to be like, oh, whoa, like, I love hearing Rob say that too. He's like, what? Like, he gets so excited about certain things because, of course, you're studying like all of these texts that most of us just haven't heard about. So it's a pleasure to be able to hear him and you come together as well. Anything that stuck out to you from this specific episode?
There was that wow moment for Rob, which again is connected to the enmity between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent, and how I brought out the story of David and of Orpah and Naomi, their being sisters, and also Ruth and Boaz, and how these stories connect to bloodlines, and how Orpah was the mother of Goliath, and the Philistine champion who we know was a giant, and his 4 brothers, which were also giants, that David was cousin to them and kin to them. And so, this is another thing that not a lot of people know about. Yeah, exactly. But it is documented within the scriptures and found therein. And so, the whole story of David and his conquest of Goliath, even as he was young, is so very relevant because, it was Goliath's head that he took to Goliath of Gath, Calvary meaning skull, that this was the place where he buried Goliath's cranium. And so it was there, 1,400, 1,600 years later, however much longer, that Christ being pierced on the cross fulfilled the prophecy in Genesis 3:15 of crushing the head of the serpent at the same time that it would be nipping at his heel. And so, very important.
Yeah, definitely an awesome show, awesome series. Definitely check that one out. It's been so many episodes now. I lost count. It's been a lot of episodes, but it's always exciting. And the reason it does take so long is because you all are bringing from such a plethora of extra biblical and ancient biblical manuscripts. So I love that aspect to it, and Rob's willingness to delve into those things like the legends of the Jews, and the Perked Rabbi Eleazar, and all of those, Jasher, Jubilees, of course, Enoch. It's just a really fun project to like put all these pieces of the puzzle together. So so much fun to just have all these wonderful guests. So moving on to our weekend shows. Every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we do join for our Digital Readers Club. And this weekend, we covered the Revelation of Moses. And this was a specifically awesome text. Not sure why they call it the Revelation of Moses, because it was like more of like the
life of Adam and Eve.
The book of Eve, I think. Like the perspective of when Adam was dying, and it was kind of like the testament of Adam all over again, but you get extra information. Really an interesting text where you get an inside look at what exactly happened in the garden, the expulsion of them from the garden, and you get to see interactions with Adam and the angels and the Most High that I've never seen anywhere else, even through all the texts that we've studied so far. It's really interesting. And anything specific that stood out to you?
Yeah, again, the coverage of the enmity between the bloodlines and the behavior of Cain in swallowing and drinking, consuming the blood of his half-brother Abel after he had murdered him, which we know is a trait that is specific to the elites that are of the Canaanite bloodline, that they practice these kind of things even in this day and age. And it's also linked into the Old Testament, the book of Micah, chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, also shows this behavior, how they were flaying the skin and peeling the ligaments and off of the bone for consumption, that they were making a soup. And so all kind of things that, we think is bizarre and weird, being confirmed by the Bible and the prophetic word. So
yeah, definitely, it's always a great discussion. There were so many great points that were brought up by the YouTube chat and those that are joining in Discord. I definitely love, there were so many references that were contained in this text, the revelation of Moses, that I only have found in the Aramaic Targum previously. So I love seeing that, you know, the picture of the Most High coming into the garden after Adam and Eve are hiding. In the KJV, you see like, oh, where are you guys? And you're thinking, you know, there's got to be more to the story. Like, he's the creator, right? He's the infinite, omnipresent, omniscient, all-knowing. Like, why would he say, where are you? But, you know, in the Targum, it makes it clear, like, how, you know, he says, why did you think that you could hide from me? And in this text, you know, you see the same thing, like, the word of the Lord comes, the Lord comes, and he's walking through the garden. He says, where are you, Adam and Eve? Like, can that house hide from him who built it? Like, so you see that same type of theme there. And I love that. And then the allusion, and later on, that the earth would refuse to accept the body of Abel. And that was something that I'd only seen in the Targum as well. So that's something I feel like could be expounded more upon even, but I guess it's pretty straightforward. The earth, just like whenever Cain would try to dig up a hole to throw his brother's body in, it just refused to accept it.
Spit it right back out.
I don't know how that works, but you know, really interesting concept. Also, you know, going to where Adam was taken into paradise, and Abel's body also was taken there, and then seeing a prophecy that was given to Adam that you know, he was taken to paradise, but then he was placed in Sheol, or Tartarus, I believe. And in this place, he was given a prophecy that, you know, you are here for a time, but I'm going to come and bring you to the throne of him who betrayed you, and then him who betrayed you, I'm going to put here where you are. So it was like, okay, kind of gives you a picture of where we are today. You know, the enemy is still, you know, he still has this throne. He still has this power on earth. And, you know, I do believe that at Christ's resurrection, in his death and burial, that he went into Gehenna, or Tartarus, and brought the patriarchs up to paradise. And maybe at that time, that's when he took the enemy down and locked him into Tartarus, along with his, you know, the fallen angels that rebelled with him. Interesting concepts. Always love the discussion. So please join us every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We only have a few more weeks, or a couple more weeks actually, of the Testaments of the Patriarchs and Prophets. And then we'll be moving into another book with the Digital Reader's Club. We've already been through the Aramaic Targum, the Great Commission series. We went through the Forgotten Edenic books of Adam and Eve. Any other that I'm missing? And then the Testaments of the Patriarchs and Prophets.
The first and second book of Adam and Eve. Some of the primary dominant.
Lots of we've been through a lot. And we basically read the entire Testaments of the Patriarchs and Prophets. So if anyone wants to just go and clip all of our reading, you can just make that into an audiobook. That would be really cool. But yeah, all that content, it's all free, and we would love for you to join for that discussion and that study. So moving on, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays, we have our Biblical Hebrew class. Wonderful class with the George family. Brother Noble George teaching the Biblical Hebrew, the Masoretic Hebrew that you would find if you were to study a concordance to try to read the Hebrew that you'll find in like a Strong's Concordance if you're looking back in the Old Testament and want to study exactly which word was translated into the English that we've received. I think it's very helpful for anyone who really wants to understand the Bible in a deeper way. So definitely appreciate you, George family. Awesome family, and family in Christ, and just partners in this mission of teaching and learning and fellowshipping and growing this community here of truth seekers. So we appreciate you. And that last class of the week was actually just a couple hours ago. We had Sister Diane Covher and her husband Denny drove down from North Carolina over here to meet Eliana, and also to give their monthly Enochian Lunisolar Calendar class. And that was an awesome class. We had the most participation we've ever had. It was an awesome time. Really great presentation from Sister Diane. Definitely encourage you guys to check that out. If you have any questions about the Enochian calendar, please do join us for that class. There's always plenty of time towards the end after her presentation where she loves to interact with the community, loves to take your questions, and she gives really great answers as well. Yeah, it's been an awesome time. Tomorrow we're going to be putting out our newsletter for our mid-month newsletter, our book review, and we did a book review on this really awesome book that my dad put together called The Ancient Prophecies of Christ. Definitely look out for that one. It's going to come with a really great promo code to help you get a little discount on that and get your hands on that book. It's a really great collaboration of narratives and prophecies that you brought from I don't know, from the revelation of the Magi, and the testaments of the patriarchs and prophets, and
the crushing the head of the serpent.
Yeah,
how Christ fulfilled the Levitical feast days. So much information.
Yeah, awesome book. Definitely going to be an awesome book review to look out for. And we're really glad that you're able to hang out with us. And Eliana and Joy wanted to talk a little bit about the conference that's coming up in less than a year.
Yeah, so we actually have our Sacred Word Revealed conference, our second one coming up in May of 2022, so less than a year from now. It'll be May 27th through 29th. I think it's some kind of holiday, so we tried to make it so that for those who have 9-to-5 jobs, you'll hopefully have time off work anyways during that time. And we're hoping to just have a time of fellowship where we can actually see each other, hug each other, and just have that time. A lot of people actually asked us when we asked for feedback on the last one, they just wanted a little more time to fellowship. So we're definitely going to make time for that. And we also just want to thank you so much for your love for this family, for our family, for Eliana. Many of you have sent us gifts and cards and just sent us messages of love. And above all your prayers. We're just so grateful for your prayers, and we're just so humbled by just how we've been wrapped in the arms of this community, and we are just so grateful. We thank you so much. You guys are such a blessing, and yeah, thank you so much for being a part of our family.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Hallelujah. We're so grateful for this community. So lastly, I want to give an update on the Endeavor Freedom Orphanage in Myanmar. As many of you know, Brother Nalgong, took a big risk and went to India because the funds had run out, and the military coup in Myanmar closed all the banks, disconnected all the internet, all the cell service. So we were completely disconnected for a month, and we were worried. We finally got in contact with him because he had made that trip across the border to India. Actually, I think I saw that there are thousands of Myanmar refugees crossing the border right now into India to escape the military persecution that's coming. And they just recently, this week, I saw they announced that the military is actually, they have the authority to take the land from the tribal people now. So we're asking for your prayers against that. Also, we were able to transfer money over to a brother in India who is able to give that to Nalgong to go back to Myanmar to bring to the orphans and help develop that property there. However, India has extended their COVID-19 lockdown again. So it's like another week that Brother Nalgong is trapped in India, and they're patrolling, and it's a big risk that he's taking in order to secure funds to be able to provide for the children. We just ask that you would continue to pray for him and his journey, and for his safety, and especially for the children that are in Myanmar that are waiting for his return, and for the land that we were able to secure this year to help grow the orphanage, that it would be protected from the military takeover in Myanmar. It's a really crazy situation that's going on. They said that there was election fraud, so the military took over and ousted the voted-in leader, and now everyone who supports her is being persecuted, and the military has really been so strict. But you can only imagine, what would that be like if that happened here? I don't know. But not saying that there was a fraudulent election or anything. Just saying that who knows. So anyways, much love to you all. Thank you for your support, and thank you for joining us for this weekly summary. Prayerfully you have a blessed week.
Yes, Shalom. Thank you.